Alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalam ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa ashabihi wa man wala amma ba'du. Then here we can see two stacks of books, one tall and one short. This is what I was able to get at the book fair. I said I was going to go back to Hall 6 and show some of the tables, but it was busy. It was difficult. It's not something that I really like doing, walking around with the camera. So I figured I'd show some of what was on the tables through these Mektaba videos, inshallah ta'ala. You don't have to worry. I'm not going to do all of these books in one video. Rather, this tall stack I'm going to leave to the side, as it will actually be pretty easy to go through those. And I'm just going to worry about this smaller stack. In this video, we'll go through these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 books, 11 books, inshallah ta'ala. We'll begin with this one at the top. This is تحرير المقال لما جاء في حكم الأخذ من اللحية من أقوال. This book, which is written by Abu Abdurrahman Sabri ibn Mustafa al-Mahmudi, right, who's an imam in the masjid, Sheikh Abdurrahman al-Rushayd, rahimahullah, fi Riyadh. So he's in Riyadh, Riyadh. This is a book about the statements of taking from the lihya. Do you take a handful or not a handful, so on and so forth? Do you just leave it unrestrictedly? This book is a smaller book, we can see due to the size of it. Right, it's a smaller book like those that we print in English. It is 75 pages. It's 2 colors on white paper. Here we have the muqaddimah, the introduction. Then this first section, what is the definition of the beard in the language and in the legislation? Because they're 2 different things. Some people say the beard, the lihya, comes from the liha or the jawbone, and so that's why you see them shaping up the beard just on the jawbone and claiming this is the meaning of the word lihya. Okay, that might be the linguistic term, but is that what the definition of, or that might be part of the linguistic term, but is that the definition of the shara, the legislation? The second section, Tahrir Muhal al-Niza', dealing with difference of opinion. The third section, Al-Hadith wal-Athar al-Warida fil Bab. The first or the third section, those hadith and narrations from the Sahaba and those after them that are brought in this chapter. So it talks about the meaning of leaving the beard, right? Athar al-Warida fil Bab, just the hadith, then the meaning of what does it mean to leave the beard, right? And those other similar wordings that are found in the hadith. Then what are the narrations from the Sahaba and those after them? Then he has a section, the fourth section, tarjih, or the weightiest opinion, giving precedence to one opinion over the other. The fifth section, Aqwal Ahl al-Ilm, the statements of the people of knowledge, fi akhd ama zada ala qabda, the statements of the people of knowledge about taking what is after a fist length, and then a conclusion, and then the references, and so on. You can see it's a nice little book, pretty easy read, something that would take you an afternoon or 2, depending on how much time you put into it. Second book, Miyatu Fa'ida min Surah Yusuf, 100 benefits from Surah Yusuf by Dr. Ahmed Barak al-Haifi. By Dr. Barak al-Haifi. I believe he's here in Kuwait. I'm not 100% sure. We can see it's on cream paper, 2 colors. It just says Fa'ida min Surah Yusuf number 1. Yeah, he's here in Kuwait, in Al-Arabiyya. Right? Fa'ida 1, boom. What does it mean? Alif Lam Ra. Fa'ida 2. Fa'ida 3. Just like this. Goes on. It is 72 pages in full color. And this Dar Mada is a publishing company here in Kuwait, right? And he also references usually at the end where he gets it from, which is nice. 100 Faidas from Surah Yusuf. And these books, I believe, this one, I know the publisher, he actually printed some books, and I do some translations for him. He printed some books of ours in the past, and when I asked him about it, he just gave it to me because I had just come back from Umrah and my beard was trimmed up to a fist length. So he gave it to me because of that, mashallah. But it was about probably 1 dinar, $3.50. This one, I believe, was the same thing, maybe 750 fils, about $2.70 or something like that, $2.50. The next book, also by this Meda, الأربعون المسندة فيما اتفق عليه الستة. So 40 hadith which are agreed upon by the six, meaning those 6 books of hadith: Sahih al-Bukhari, Sahih Muslim, Sunan Abu Dawud, or Sunan Abi Dawud, Jami al-Tirmidhi, Sunan Nasai, and Sunan Ibn Majah. Is written by Abdul Hakim ibn Abdullah Ruba' al-Shahhi. I believe he's here in Kuwait as well. And the Taqdeem, the introduction, was by our Sheikh Muhammad Hisham al-Tahiri, Abu Salah al-Afghani. This book, mashallah, is written as if it's to be a class. You can see that it has much space for notes. It is 2-color on cream color paper. And it's just 40 hadith musnada. And he has place back in here in the back for the ijaza. So maybe we can get to the sheikh and read on him, or the compiler, and get the isnad for this. So on and so forth, right? Bab Tawheed Awwalan, it's the first Bab. Bab Aqidat Ahl Sunnati wal Jama'at fil Iman, the belief of the people of the Sunnah and the congregation in Iman, regarding Iman. Bab min khasa'is hadhi al-ummah, from the special characteristics of this ummah. Bab fi dhikr qa'ida min qawaid ad-din, mentioning a principle from the principles of the deen. Bab sifat wudu an-nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the description of the Prophet's wudu sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Bab ma ja'a fi sifat ghusl an-nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, what has come regarding the description of the bath or shower of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Bab at-tayammum. So it's a nice book, mashallah, in fiqh chapters, but something that all 6 agree upon. All 6 agree upon, mashallah. This was maybe 2 KD, maybe $6-7. I don't remember the price. It's been almost 2 months, or about 2 months. No, a month or so. A month. This next book is by Dr. Abdurrahman Rafit al-Basha, and he's kind of famous for the stories of the portraits of the companions and the portraits of the tabi'een, which are good books for those who are trying to learn Arabic. You can look up Abdurrahman al-Basha. The PDFs of some of those are available online. I know that for sure. This book is called Al-Udwan ala al-Arabiyya, Udwan ala al-Islam. That the enmity to the Arabic language is enmity on Islam. So basically an attack on Arabic is an attack on Islam. And this book is fully vowelized, as we said. The sheikh, he likes to make books easy for those people who learn Arabic. So this one is fully vowelized. And it is a small pocket book, as we can see. And these are books in the back that he wrote, right? But the book itself is 89 pages. Kind of like an old paperback style book that you might see in English, one of those books that you read as a kid, that cardboardy type of paper. But it's a clear print, and it's nice, mashallah. Right? The قيمة اللغة العربية في حفظ كيان الأمم, the price or the value of the Arabic language in protecting the ummah. عدوان على لغة القرآن, enmity or attack on the language of the Quran. إحلال العامية محل الفصحى, the put Amiya in the place of Fusha, and so on and so forth. This book is like this. And it might have been a KD. I don't remember. Like this, I don't remember these prices. Like I said, it's been a while. The next book is also by Dr. Abdurrahman Rafat al-Basha, Hadatha fi Ramadan. This is something I thought about doing during the month of Ramadan once, or preparing for the month of Ramadan. Not really sure. As we can see, it is 183 pages with the table of contents, and it's about Hadatha fi Ramadan, what took place in Ramadan, such as the Battle of Badr took place in the Ramadan, right? Battle of Badr took place in Ramadan, and different things that took place during the month of Ramadan from the Islam of Bani Thaqif took place in Ramadan, right? The Sukut, the fall of Masjid al-Aqsa by the hands of the Christians, took place in Ramadan. It's just a nice title, mashallah, and something to read. And as we can see, it is fully vowelized. You know, something enjoyable to read. Maybe, if Allah wills, we can prepare this for a Ramadan book coming up this year or next. This next book, أحب الأعمال إلى الله تعالى وأفضلها, the most beloved actions to Allah the Most High and the most virtuous of them, by Abdullah Abdul Qadir al-Talidi. Not sure who he is. The book, as we can see, is all white paper, paperback. It is 190 pages with the table of contents. And it's just different hadith which talk about the most beloved actions to Allah. Maybe salat in its proper time, and then such and such, jihad in the way of Allah, so on and so forth. And so maybe what is the most beloved of zakat, for example? What is the most beloved salat, right? What is the most beloved this, or the most beloved that? This book talks about that. Nice for khutbahs or classes, right? Let's see. At-Tawbah wa hamiyatuhu. Wa hamiyatuha, asif. 127. Let's just see what he brings here as an example. Okay. لله يشد فرحا بتوبة عبده حين يتوب إلى الله إليه من أحدهم كان راحلته بأرض فلات فانفلتت منه وعليها طعامه وشرابه. This hadith is about that Allah is more pleased with the repentance of a person who repents to Him than if one of you were to be on his animal or lose his riding animal and he's out in the middle of the desert, and that animal has his food and his drink upon it and so on and so forth, and he lays down thinking that he's only going to die, and then his animal comes back to him, and the hadith is well known. So it talks about these most beloved actions to Allah, and it brings hadith and so on and so forth. Just a nice study, something as an iman builder. This next hadith, احتفاف الجيل بأربعين حديثا عن رئيس الملائكة جبريل, right? Basically 40 hadith from the chief of the angels, Jibreel. And this book is also white paper, paperback, see black and white only. And it is 109 pages, with the table of contents. And it has a bunch of introductory matter, and then it goes into the conclusion. It has space in the back for the isnad, if you were able to read it upon the sheikh. So that's a muqaddimah, right, talking about the different things. Then it talks about Jibreel. Then, let's see, talks about isnad here and stuff of the one who gathered it, or one who's putting the isnad together. Then it talks about the different hadith. So those who know me know I love 40 hadith. As I said, I have an entire section over there. This bookshelf right here is all 40 hadith and its explanations. So I had to get it. This next book is important for those who want to acquire the isnad for different books and books of hadith, as we've seen a couple of them here already. بغية الطلاب في رفع الارتياب في بيان أحكام إجازة القراءة والسماع عن بعد من وراء الحجاب. Right? So this book is dealing with the authenticity of listening to a text online or reading to the sheikh over the telephone, right? Or listening to something like we said online in a Mixler class or a live YouTube class. What is the ruling of getting the isnad for that paperback book, all white, right? And it is total of 80 pages, counting the table of contents. And I believe I got this for 1 dinar. For 1 dinar, which was about $3.30. The ruling on this. Important for those who want to know that issue. Okay. شبهات التاريخية حول القرآن الكريم أرض والنقد. The historical doubts around the Quran is dealing with them and addressing them. This is, again, one of those kind of cardboardy type of papers, although it's not as rough as the other ones. It is 314 pages, as we can see. 314 pages. Two-color print, as we see when the ayat comes, it's in red, and the name of the book at the top is in red. And this is just about different doubts that may have come from the different people regarding the Quran. So it's pretty nice. And it deals with English references in the back as well. As we can see, many of the references are in English, that he's addressing some of their doubts and some of the Arabic doubts. And here are different things that they're talking about people may have brought up. This last one is Tafsir, no, not last one, but second to last one, is Tafsir of Juz Amma by Musa'ad al-Tayyar. Musa'ad al-Tayyar is one of those who works diligently, extremely diligently in the field of tafsir. And not only tafsir, but he works diligently in tafsir. And so I had the blessing of meeting him in Kuwait before, and our brother Khalil Klopfenstein from Tuleha WordPress translated one of his books, Your Relationship with the Quran During Ramadan, and we gave him a couple copies of it. He was very pleased. Anyway, this is his tafsir of Juz Amma, and he has many books in this field. This book is, as we can see, hardback. It is 286 pages. It is on cream quality paper, two-color print. It has our bookmark at the bottom. MashaAllah, the Sheikh is on top of it. And this is just his tafsir of Surah of Juz Amma. And it is very simple. A beginner tafsir. This would be nice for a halaqah in the masjid, or for a person just to benefit for himself. The last book we have in this video today is تحقيق الكلام في أذكار الصلاة بعد السلام. The dealing with establishing the truth regarding the adhkar after the salat, or the adhkar of the salat بعد السلام. What is said after salat? Subhanallah 33 times, Alhamdulillah 30 times, so on. How it should be done, what are the different ways, what are different narrations in dealing with it. He goes into great details. And before that, he has, this book here was 3 KD and 750 fills, which is quite expensive. It's almost $12 for this book. The book is 287 pages. Has our bookmark here. We like cream paper, two-color print, which is nice. One of the beautiful things about this book is that in the beginning, and he has a very detailed table of contents as well. in the beginning, he talks about the fadl of dhikr, the virtues of making dhikr. And then he talks about the fadl of, or the benefits of dhikr. And then وَفَاضَ بَيْنَ الذِّكْرِ وَالدُّعَاء. What is the difference between dhikr and dua? فَضْلُ الذِّكْرِ بَعْدَ الصَّلَاةِ وَجُلُوسُ لَهُ. And the virtue of sitting, the dhikr after salah and sitting after. And then he talks about it. One good thing he does here is that in Al-Wabil al-Sayyib of Ibn al-Qayyim rahimahullah, he says that there are 100 benefits for dhikr, right, and adhkar. And then he brings around 70. He talks about that in here, and he tries his best to complete that number, and he brings it up to 100 with their evidences, mashallah. So this book is beneficial in that aspect. And we hear the adhan in the background. Anyway, this book was a little bit expensive, but this by Dhiyab al-Ghamidi, who I believe he's in Syria, right? I believe he's in Syria. We have an isnad from him, walillahi alhamdu wal minna. And inshallah ta'ala, we'll be back in a few days with another video with the rest of the books in that tall stack. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.